The world is coming to America for next summer's World Cup. There are big concerns over whether the U.S. is ready. The 2026 World Cup is still more than a year away. But top travel executives are warning the U.S. could struggle to effectively stage the tournament unless big changes are made quickly. U.S. Travel Association President and CEO Jeff Freeman and MGM Resorts International President and CEO William Hornbuckle told CNN Sport that they have real concerns about whether the U.S. travel system is prepared to handle the influx of foreign travelers expected in next summer's soccer extravaganza. The worries run the gamut. Lengthy wait times for fan visa approvals could discourage thousands from trying to come to the U.S. for the tournament. Outdated technology and staffing shortages could lead to long waits for visitors who arrive in the U.S. to clear customs. Long lines to get through security could potentially snake all the way outside of airports. A lack of an interagency task force inside the Trump White House means a less than streamlined federal response to the various problems. Freeman told CNN that time is running out to address the list of worries, even if the tournament is still more than 15 months away, though he emphasized that he holds out hope that the administration can correct course. "We're running out of time," he said. "It's only 16 months away from when we have the kickoff. We've got 3 locations in Canada, 1 location in Mexico. There are visitors who are going to want to transfer across borders here. How is that going to work? We would like to see much more urgency to get to the bottom of that," he added. "Where is the urgency to really focus on what it takes to make this event a success? The way we're pacing, we're going to struggle. But it's not too late to put the resources forward to focus on some of these key obstacles and to ensure that America does, as the president has asked for, show off and have the greatest World Cup that's ever been played." The expanded 48-team tournament, the largest in history, kicks off on June 11, 2026, and is jointly hosted between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada, a triumvirate with deep divisions at the moment sparked by President Donald Trump's trade war with the U.S. northern and southern neighbors. The first game will be played in Mexico City's historic Estadio Azteca before Southern California takes the stage with the United States' first game the following day. In a statement to CNN, a FIFA spokesperson said the world governing body for soccer is working with the U.S. government to make sure the tournament is a success and is confident that the Trump administration will do what's necessary to make the competition a streamlined process for fans around the world. It is worth noting that the current administration was in office during the successful bid process for 2026 and signed the government guarantees as part of that process, the spokesperson said. "We continue to work with various departments and agencies of the U.S. government to ensure the U.S. can capitalize on this once-in-a-generation opportunity to tap into billions of dollars in positive financial benefits and goodwill, and bring millions of people from different nations and communities together to celebrate in the United States." The month-long celebration of soccer is expected to bring millions of foreign guests to the United States, anywhere between 6 and 8 million. The U.S. Travel Association estimates. The influx of travelers is expected to strain the system, especially as the federal government is under immense pressure from Trump and Elon Musk to cut costs. The Travel Association estimates that more than 3 million people will move through America's airports approximately 50 times in 2026, as opposed to 5 times in 2024. Hornbuckle said that increase in volume is going to lead to overloading. "We already know that surging demand is going to overwhelm the system," Freeman said. "It's not a question of, will it will. The system wasn't built to handle the demand we have coming. One of the things we're just generally concerned with is, as the administration is going through some of the vibrations it's now going through, staying focused and understanding what the impacts are to this industry are important," Hornbuckle added. He added, "The volumes will increase, and the environment is not ripe to do that yet. And so, we recognize we need to get there and are so excited to participate. It's not going to be easy, never thought it was, but, particularly now, it's not going to be easy." Taylor Rogers, a White House spokesman, said Trump is all in on doing what needs to be done to make the event go smoothly. President Trump is a sports enthusiast and legendary showman. He will work to deliver a spectacular event that showcases American greatness while ensuring smooth logistics for all world-class athletes and guests in attendance, Rogers said. Warnings over travel nightmares. Freeman and Hornbuckle painted a picture of what the travel system will look like when it's overwhelmed, and it's not pretty. If we're not prepared, you will have lines out of airports. Lines out of airports make great visuals for TV cameras. And I don't think anybody wants to own that, right? Freeman said. Serpentine queues at customs checkpoints for foreign travelers arriving in the U.S. and Americans returning home could potentially be a nightmare. Freeman said even though airline schedules are mostly predictable and well-known, travelers who don't have global entry sometimes spend 2 hours or more in a line just to tell a customs agent that they have nothing to declare. That's the welcome they get to the United States after flying here for 14 hours, Freeman said of foreign visitors. What drives me crazy about that is there's nothing more predictable than when a plane is going to land and how many people are on it. There's no excuse for putting people through this. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection is gearing up for the challenge. A CBP spokesperson said in a statement that the agency is ready to implement a comprehensive travel facilitation strategy to assure that international travelers attending the World Cup will not encounter unnecessary delays at our international airports and land ports of entry. For example, at host cities, CBP will be able to adjust resources and personnel capacity on a daily basis to reduce any impact on wait times, the spokesperson said. That will be our utmost priority. We are aware that for many visitors this will be their first time clearing CBP. The agency said that many delays are caused by a lack of familiarity with U.S. laws and regulations, so CBP will be launching awareness campaigns that aim to tell visitors what they need to know before traveling to the U.S. The spokesperson added that the agency is also ramping up its use of biometrics technology and other inspection capabilities that, along with customs officials' training, have resulted in increased efficiency in speeding lines along. Facial biometrics are now in use in all of the entry points at the country's 55 international airports, 39 seaports, and all the pedestrians lanes into the country. They also encourage travelers to enroll in the CBP's Trusted Traveler programs that can help speed entry into the U.S., along with mobile passport control. Still, the agency recognizes it will be a challenge and that increased travelers may affect processing times. The CBP Office of Field Operations will work through a unified chain of command with the Department of Homeland Security and other federal, state, and local authorities to ensure safe processing of those passengers. As America's frontline, CBP will be responsible for ensuring that soccer fans coming from all over the world are processed efficiently and expeditiously while ensuring the highest levels of national security, the CBP spokesperson said. There are other worries. The air traffic controller shortage is leading some airports to struggle to keep up with the demand for more flights coming in and out. The technology used to run the air traffic control system is outdated, according to Freeman and Hornbuckle, who both scoffed at the continued use of radar to track aircraft instead of GPS. The rollout of high-tech scanning machines that can quickly and accurately examine carry-on bags won't be completed at all U.S. airports until 2042, Freeman said. It all adds up to one thing. The U.S. is falling behind other nations when it comes to making it easier to travel into and out of the country, and those issues could be exposed when the world begins to arrive for the globe's most popular sporting event, Freeman said. I think we do have to be kind of eyes wide open to the fact that we have an aging system that is struggling to keep up with the demand that we have right now, let alone what will happen next several years, Freeman said. Visa approvals could become a huge issue. There are 42 countries that are a part of the U.S. visa waiver program, meaning their citizens are allowed to stay in the country for up to 90 days for tourism or business without a formal visa. Some of the countries that are most synonymous with the World Cup, defending champion Argentina, 5-time winner Brazil, Colombia, Uruguay, and even tournament co-host Mexico, are not a part of that program. That means that some of the most fervent soccer fans in the world need to be starting their visa process now before World Cup qualifying is complete and approximately 9 months before tickets actually go on sale. Freeman said waits for an interview with consular services in some key countries span more than a year, including more than 700 days for Colombians looking to come to the U.S. If you're in Colombia, who will qualify for the World Cup? Your window's already closed, right? That's hard to believe. Times are still long in Brazil, not as long, they're long in Argentina. They're very, very long in Mexico, he said. So, there are other countries where this will increase. More and more windows are closing as we get closer to it. The FIFA spokesperson said the organization is already pushing out information on visas to fans. FIFA is working with the US government to amplify this information to embassies around the world, the FIFA spokesperson said. Fans can apply for visas at any time to start the process, and they do not need to wait for a ticket. Importantly, however, a ticket does not guarantee a visa, nor does a visa guarantee a ticket. A State Department spokesperson told CNN Sport that the department is committed to protecting our nation and its citizens by upholding the highest standards of national security and public safety. Calling the World Cup, this summer's Club World Cup and the 2028 Summer Games in Los Angeles examples of sports diplomacy in action, the State Department spokesperson said, "We will work diligently to ensure an efficient, smooth, and effective visa process that protects America's security." The spokesperson pointed out that many people are coming from countries who may already hold valid visas or will come from the 43 visa waiver program countries. Last year, we issued nearly 11 million non-immigrant visas, so we are well prepared to process visa applications for fans interested in coming for the World Cup. The other exciting sporting events this decade, and all of America's tourist destinations, the spokesperson said in an email. The safety and security of the United States during the tournament is our top priority. The 2026 World Cup will generate billions of dollars in short-term local economic activity and create thousands of jobs, showcasing our capacity, competition, and commerce. A call for the White House to take control. Trump was in office when the World Cup was awarded to the United States, Mexico, and Canada back in 2018, and he views it as a great accomplishment. So much so that a replica of the competition's trophy can sometimes be seen sitting behind his desk in the Oval Office. The president has spoken about the tournament being an opportunity for a patriotic showcase and making sure that the United States is put on display for the rest of the world when they come to visit. "It will be a special event. I think it's going to be something really, very special," Trump said in 2018 when FIFA awarded the event to the United States along with Canada and Mexico. Freeman and Hornbuckle believe Trump takes the task of successfully hosting the tournament seriously, but they said the administration has not quite yet shown the urgency they'd like. One of the main things they'd like to see is an interagency task force set up by the White House to coordinate planning for the World Cup across the sprawling federal government. "Most countries have ministries of tourism and sports. We have neither," Hornbuckle said. He added, "Trying to pull all of these agencies together and act as one is just very complicated, and without a concentrated effort. Struggle is probably not the right word, but we're concerned where we are. We's where we need to get to, is the bottom line." The White House did not respond to a question about whether such a task force is being considered or implemented. Hornbuckle and the U.S. Travel Association believe the country is on the verge of a decade of high-profile events between the 2026 World Cup, the 2028 Summer Olympics, and the 2034 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, among others. If Trump takes up the cause and makes ease of travel a priority, it could become a showcase. The White House needs to be a champion of this. If you think about those events, starting with the World Cup, Olympics, America's 250th anniversary, all things that are meaningful to the country and ultimately a showcase, Hornbuckle said. He needs to be the champion of that and be present in some way, shape, or form. And his administration needs to be present at it. But the other side of that coin is a warning. The next 10 years presents some amazing opportunities for America in terms of the two Olympics, World Cup, Ryder Cup, he said. It's also an amazing opportunity, if we don't do it right, to really muck this up.